You think you're making a heart-healthy choice, but this popular snack might be silently sabotaging your health. It's low-fat, organic, even labeled wholesome, but it's spiking your blood sugar, raising your cholesterol, and inflaming your arteries. I'm not saying this to be dramatic. I'm saying it because I've seen the effects in my patients firsthand. Every week, someone sits in my office, shocked by how their healthy eating habits led them here. This snack, it's one of the biggest offenders. Let me show you exactly what it is and what to eat instead. I'm a board-certified cardiologist with over 15 years of experience treating patients with heart disease, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and heart failure. Every single day, I meet people who are doing their best, eating what they believe are healthy foods, exercising when they can, and trying to live longer for their families. And yet, many of them still end up in my office with clogged arteries, rising blood pressure, or borderline diabetes. I've come to realize that the problem isn't just lifestyle, it's misinformation. These so-called healthy habits are often anything but. I've seen people eating the same snacks every day, granola bars, flavored yogurts, veggie chips, thinking they're making smart choices and wondering why their health is getting worse, not better. What frustrates me most is how preventable so much of this is. The damage I see on scans and blood tests didn't have to happen. It's not about being perfect, it's about being informed. That's why I started speaking up outside the clinic. I can only help one patient at a time in my office, but here, I can help thousands, maybe even millions, see what's really going on. My mission is simple: to give you the truth, backed by science and real-world experience, so you can make better choices and protect your heart before it's too late. The snack I'm talking about, the one so many of my patients eat daily, thinking it's a smart, heart-healthy choice, is the granola bar. Yes, that little bar wrapped in earth-toned packaging with words like fiber-rich, whole grain, gluten-free, and natural stamped all over it. It seems innocent, even virtuous. But once you look past the marketing, the truth is hard to ignore. Most granola bars are packed with added sugars, refined oils, preservatives, and fillers that do far more harm than good. Manufacturers have gotten clever. Instead of listing plain sugar, they'll use terms like brown rice syrup, cane juice, or evaporated fruit juice, so you don't realize how much sugar you're actually consuming. And don't be fooled by the small size. Snack size doesn't mean it's safe for your heart. In fact, many popular granola bars contain more sugar than a glazed donut. That's not an exaggeration. It's the nutrition label speaking for itself. Even the ones marketed as protein bars or energy bars often have a dangerous combination of fast carbs and industrial seed oils that can spike your blood sugar and increase inflammation. So while you're reaching for what feels like a smart, on-the-go option, what you're really doing is feeding your body the exact kind of processed ingredients we know contribute to heart disease. It's not about shame, it's about awareness. And once you see it clearly, it's hard to unsee. When you flip over the package of a typical granola bar and really look at the ingredients list, the truth becomes clear. This isn't heart food. It's a carefully engineered blend of sugar, refined oils, and synthetic additives that can quietly do serious harm over time. Let's start with sugar. Whether it's labeled as brown rice syrup, cane sugar, honey, or agave nectar, added sugar is one of the biggest culprits in modern heart disease. It spikes your blood glucose quickly, forcing your body to release large amounts of insulin to bring it down. Over time, this repeated cycle leads to insulin resistance, a condition closely tied to metabolic syndrome and a major risk factor for heart disease. But it doesn't stop there. Elevated sugar levels trigger chronic inflammation inside your blood vessels, which is one of the key drivers behind plaque buildup and atherosclerosis. Studies published in journals like JAMA and Circulation have shown a clear connection between diets high in added sugars and significantly increased risk of cardiovascular death. Now consider the oils. Most granola bars are made with refined seed oils like canola, soybean, or sunflower oil. These are high in omega-6 fatty acids which, when consumed in excess, as they are in the standard diet, disrupt your body's balance of inflammatory to anti-inflammatory fats. This imbalance contributes to systemic inflammation throughout your body, including in your arteries. Chronic arterial inflammation is a precursor to endothelial dysfunction, which makes it easier for cholesterol to stick to artery walls and form plaque. Add in the preservatives and fillers, like BHT, soy lecithin, or polyglycerol esters, and you're consuming ingredients that, in some studies, have been linked to metabolic disruption, oxidative stress, and changes in gut health. While the FDA may deem them safe in small amounts, they add up quickly when you're eating processed foods regularly. And don't be fooled by the fiber claims on the label. Many bars boast about being high in fiber, but the fiber they contain is often isolated or synthetic, like chicory root extract or polydextrose, not the natural kind you get from whole fruits, vegetables, or legumes. These additives don't have the same benefits as real dietary fiber, which helps regulate blood sugar, supports digestion, and lowers cholesterol. Worse, the high sugar content often outweighs any fiber benefit, leading to that all-too-familiar crash just an hour or two after eating. The result? You're hungrier, more irritable, and more likely to reach for another quick snack, perpetuating a cycle that's hard to break and harmful to your heart. It's easy to underestimate a granola bar because of its small size and health-focused branding. But the truth is, each bite can quietly chip away at your long-term cardiovascular health. Let me tell you about a patient of mine. We'll call her Sarah, though this is a composite of several real people I've treated over the years. Sarah was in her mid-40s, a working professional, busy mom, and someone who genuinely cared about her health. She exercised a few times a week, drank plenty of water, and made what she believed were smart food choices. She told me proudly that she didn't eat candy or fast food. Instead, she always kept healthy snacks on hand, granola bars in her purse, dried fruit in her desk drawer, and a stash of veggie chips in the pantry. But when her blood work came back, the numbers told a different story. Her LDL cholesterol was well above optimal, her triglycerides were elevated, and her hemoglobin A1C was creeping into pre-diabetic territory. She was shocked. She asked me, "How can this be happening? I'm eating clean." That question stuck with me because she wasn't lying. She was doing what most people believe is healthy. But those packaged snacks, eaten every day and often more than once, were delivering high doses of added sugar, refined carbs, and processed oils that were quietly throwing her metabolic health off balance. So we made a few small but critical changes. I asked her to cut out the granola bars and dried fruit, and instead reach for real food snacks, a handful of almonds, apple slices with natural peanut butter, hard-boiled eggs, or Greek yogurt with berries. No calorie counting, no drastic diets, just simple swaps that prioritized whole, unprocessed ingredients. 3 months later, her follow-up labs showed remarkable improvement. Her LDL dropped significantly, triglycerides were down, and her A1C returned to normal range. But more importantly, she told me she felt better, more energy, fewer cravings, more stable moods throughout the day. Her story is a powerful reminder that even small daily changes can lead to big, measurable improvements in heart health. Let's take a closer look at what happens when you choose a granola bar over a truly nourishing snack. On the surface, a granola bar might seem like a convenient, balanced option, something that's quick, easy to carry, and not too high in calories. But if you compare it side by side with a snack like an apple paired with a tablespoon of almond butter, the differences are striking. The granola bar is typically packed with added sugars, processed grains, and refined oils. Its glycemic load, the measure of how much a food spikes your blood sugar, is usually quite high, leading to a sharp rise in glucose followed by an inevitable crash. That crash leaves you hungrier, craving more sugar, and less focused. The apple and almond butter, on the other hand, offer natural fiber, antioxidants, healthy fats, and protein. This combination slows digestion, balances blood sugar, and keeps you full longer. And this is where the idea that a calorie is just a calorie completely falls apart. While both snacks may contain roughly the same number of calories, around 180 to 200, their impact on your metabolism, hormones, and satiety is entirely different. Granola bars are often empty calories with little nutrient density, whereas real whole foods provide vitamins, minerals, and compounds that support heart health, hormone regulation, and even brain function. Real food also engages your digestive system more fully, helping you feel satisfied and energized, not jittery or sluggish. If you're looking for better options, consider these easy, heart-healthy swaps. Instead of a processed trail mix filled with candy-coated bits and sugar-dusted fruit, make your own with raw almonds, walnuts, unsweetened coconut flakes, and a few dark chocolate chips. Swap out that mid-morning granola bar for a couple of boiled eggs and a small bowl of berries. The protein keeps you full, and the antioxidants support your cells. Veggie chips may seem harmless, but they're often fried in inflammatory oils. Instead, try hummus with sliced cucumbers, carrots, or bell peppers. Crunchy, flavorful, and packed with fiber and healthy fats. And if you like yogurt, skip the sugary flavored versions and go with plain Greek yogurt topped with chia seeds and fresh berries. It's rich in protein, probiotics, and heart-healthy omega-3s. The difference isn't just in ingredients, it's in how your body responds to them. Whole foods send signals of nourishment, balance your hormones, and help regulate your appetite. Processed, healthy snacks often confuse those signals, leading to cravings, overeating, and long-term metabolic stress. Choosing the right snack is more than a dietary decision. It's a vote for your long-term heart health. One of the biggest obstacles to eating heart-healthy isn't just willpower, it's marketing. Food companies have become experts at making processed snacks look like smart choices. They slap labels on the front of the package with words like natural, organic, gluten-free, or low-fat, hoping you'll associate them with health. But none of these terms guarantees that the food inside is actually good for your heart. A product can be organic and still be loaded with sugar. It can be low-fat and still packed with refined carbohydrates. These labels create a health halo that encourages you to trust the product without digging deeper. And that's exactly what the food industry wants. One of the most common tricks is hiding sugar under dozens of different names. You might not see the word sugar at all, but you will see ingredients like maltodextrin, cane juice, brown rice syrup, fruit concentrate, or agave nectar, all of which act the same in your body. In fact, there are over 50 names for added sugars, and most people don't realize they're consuming several types in a single bar. To make matters worse, the serving sizes are often misleading. A label might list 1 bar as a serving, but some brands cut that in half, meaning the sugar, calories, and sodium you think you're getting are actually double. To protect yourself, you need to flip that package over and look at the nutrition label and ingredient list. The first thing you should check is the ingredients. Are whole foods like oats, nuts, or fruit listed at the top? Or is it syrups and isolates? Next, look at the fiber-to-sugar ratio. A good rule of thumb is to choose snacks with more fiber than sugar, or at least close to even. Finally, scan the overall length and complexity of the ingredient list. If it reads like a science experiment, it's probably not real food. Shorter, simpler lists typically mean fewer processed additives and a closer resemblance to whole, natural ingredients. Once you learn how to see through these tricks, you'll never look at a granola bar or any packaged snack the same way again. The choices we make around food aren't just about hunger. They're deeply emotional and often subconscious. In today's fast-paced world, convenience has become a driving force in how we eat. We're drawn to snacks that are easy to grab, easy to store, and easy to justify. Prepackaged foods give us the illusion of control. They're neat, labeled, and portioned. Somewhere along the way, we began to believe that a wrapped granola bar was somehow safer or cleaner than an apple from the fridge. And food companies have capitalized on this belief. Through clever advertising and carefully designed packaging, they've trained us to associate certain words and visuals, like earthy colors, handwritten fonts, and buzzwords like natural or fit, with health. It's also worth recognizing how deep these patterns run. Many of us grew up with a granola bar tucked into our lunchbox, paired with a juice box and maybe a note from mom. These snacks feel familiar and comforting, and that emotional connection can be powerful. But comfort doesn't always equal health. Over time, we've normalized reaching for processed foods when we're tired, stressed, or just trying to make it through the day. These habits can become automatic, even when the body doesn't truly need nourishment. The shift we need isn't just about what's in our pantry, it's about how we think. Instead of prioritizing what's quick or what feels emotionally safe, we need to start seeing food as a form of care and long-term investment in our health. Choosing whole foods might take an extra minute or two, but the payoff is measured not in instant gratification, but in years of stronger heart health, better energy, and fewer regrets down the road. When it comes to snacking, the goal isn't to eliminate the habit, it's to upgrade it. The good news is that heart-healthy snacking doesn't have to be complicated or bland. With just a few simple swaps, you can transform your go-to snacks into options that actually support your cardiovascular health instead of quietly working against it. Start with this easy snack swap cheat sheet. Instead of flavored yogurt, which is often loaded with added sugars, go for unsweetened Greek yogurt topped with fresh berries. You still get the creamy texture and sweetness, but with added protein, fiber, and antioxidants, and none of the hidden sugar crash. Instead of veggie chips, which are usually just fried potato starch with a green tint, try roasted chickpeas or sliced cucumbers with a sprinkle of sea salt or paprika. They're crunchy, satisfying, and far better for your arteries. And instead of grabbing a strip of fruit leather, which is often just concentrated sugar, pair a small piece of actual fruit with a handful of nuts. You'll get the natural sweetness you're craving plus fiber and healthy fats to keep your blood sugar stable. The real secret to healthy snacking isn't just in the ingredients, it's in the preparation. Most people don't realize how much of their unhealthy choices come from a lack of planning. Taking just 10 minutes a couple of times a week to prep snacks can make a huge difference. One great option is overnight oats. Combine rolled oats, chia seeds, almond milk, and berries in a jar, let it sit overnight, and you've got a fiber-rich, heart-friendly snack ready to go. Another is building mini snack boxes using a combination of protein, fiber, and healthy fat, like a boiled egg, a few baby carrots, and a handful of almonds. Or try avocado smashed onto a rice cake with chili flakes and a drizzle of olive oil, a snack that's both satisfying and anti-inflammatory. These simple ideas don't require fancy cooking skills or expensive ingredients, just a small shift in mindset. Choosing real, whole food over processed convenience is one of the most powerful steps you can take toward protecting your heart, boosting your energy, and feeling better every day. Granola bars may look healthy, but most of them are heavily processed and packed with added sugar, refined oils, and preservatives that do more harm than good. The labels on these snacks, words like natural, low-fat, or whole grain, are often designed to distract you from the poor ingredients inside. That's why it's so important to read the labels, flip the package over, and really understand what you're putting into your body. Choosing real, whole food snacks that combine protein, fiber, and healthy fats is one of the smartest things you can do for your heart. Simple swaps, like an apple with almond butter instead of a sugary bar, can have a major impact over time. These aren't drastic changes, but they add up, day by day, bite by bite. Your heart health isn't decided in a single meal. It's built gradually, with each choice you make. And the good news? You're always just one better choice away from getting back on track. If you learned something today, please share this video with someone who snacks thinking they're being healthy. I see the consequences of these choices every day, and you deserve better information. Like this video if it helped, subscribe for more heart-smart tips, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next one. I'll be revealing the worst breakfast habit most people think is heart healthy. It's not what you think. Take care of your heart. It's the only one you've got, and you're not too late to start now.